guys, today we are gonna focus on one thing and one thing only, which is function composition or the composite function. So the questions are pretty much gonna be phrased like find f funny symbol g, but the question is, what is that funny symbol? Okay, so new to our life, that's the symbol for to find the composite function. Okay, so this is read as of. Okay, so when we see problems like this, we're not going to read it as f funny symbol g. We're going to read it as f of g, whatever that means. So I'm going to try to break it down for you. So this is how it's going to go down. We're going to take some function, say f, which happens to be a function of x. And then we're also going to look at another function, say g, which happens to be a function of x. And the question says, all right, find the composition of f and g, or find the composite function. Okay, so using our math symbols, we're going to write this as f of g of x. Okay, when I see a problem phrased like this, and you will see this on the test, I can read it, f of g of x. But when I see a problem like this, I don't have a clear sense of what to start. Okay, so when we are asked to find the composite function, in this case f of g of x, we are pretty much asked to write one function in terms of the other. Well, how are we going to do that? To facilitate this process, we're going to rewrite this a little bit different. Okay, so this is read as f of g of x. Let's write that again, but slightly different. Okay, say it the same way but written slightly different. So we have f, and we'll read this symbol as of, so we'll put open parentheses, f of something, f of g, and f of g, another of, so another open parenthesis, f of g of x. Okay, so let's go ahead, close those parentheses. So if someone says, hey, quick, find f compose g, well, yeah, that's the right way of saying it, but you don't hear that too often. If someone says, quick, find the composite function, find f of g of x. Okay, so the both of these statements are said the same exact way, but I like seeing it in the second format because it gives me a sense of how am I going to do that. So again, the composite function is just a fancy talk of write this function in terms of the other. So in this case, to find f of g of x, we are going to substitute g of x for the input x. Okay, that's too many words. Let's go ahead and do some problems. So we're going to do two sets of fun problems, and then we're good to go. So fun problem number 1 reads, let f of x equals 3x plus 2 and g of x equals x plus 5. So let's go ahead and do our first problem. So problem A, I want you to find, what should you find? Well, you know what? Why don't we find that? Find f of g of x, and that's it. Find f of g of x. So we're supposed to find the composite function. So find f compose g. I'm not going to say that again. I'm just going to read it. Find f of g of x. So we're supposed to write one function in terms of the other. For me, again, when I see it in this format, it's really hard for me to start it. So let's go ahead and rewrite it in this format. So we have f of g of x is the same as f of g of x. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. So what are we gonna do? We are gonna find f of the inside. Okay, what is g of x? According to the problem, g of x is x plus 5. Fantastic. Okay, so far f of g of x is code for find f of x plus 5. So now what are we going to do? We are going to substitute a x plus 5 for the input of x. Handle it however you like. For me, I need like a little break. Okay, so first thing what I'm going to do, I'm going to write down what the function f is. So we have f, which is a function of x. F of x equals 3x plus 2. Okay, what do we want to find? We want to find f of g of x, which nails down to find f of x plus 5. Okay, so in this case, go ahead and bring down our problem. We have f of x plus 5. So we are going to substitute x plus 5 for the input of x. Fantastic. So that will leave us with, let me circle the x. So that will leave us with 3 times the input for x, which is x plus 5. And then we're going to bring down the rest of the problem. Okay, so take your time. We did the toughest part, so if you weren't breathing, now will be a good time to continue breathing. Okay, let's clear the grouping symbols. Product of 3 and x is 3x. Product of 3 and 5 is 15. We bring down the rest of the expression. Take your time, combine like terms, earn your full credit, and that will leave us with 3x plus 17. Fantastic. So what were we asked to find? We were asked to find this composite function. Oh, I said I wasn't going to say that again. We were asked to find f of g of x, and thanks to our hard work, f of g of x gives us 3x plus 17. Fantastic. So we're going to do one more problem for these set of exercises. Okay. For problem B, where am I? So I want you to find, okay, we want to find f of g of 4. Okay, so not only do I want you to compose one function in terms of the other, I want you to evaluate it. Okay, so we have 2 ways to go about it. Option 1, find f of g like we did in problem A, and in this case f of g, same problem. F of g is 3x plus 7, and then we can evaluate it at 4. Now because we found f of g, we can just take our result to piggyback on problem E, and then f of g of 4, when we evaluate this expression at 4, 3 times 4 is 12, and 12 plus 17 is 29. Don't quote me on that. Okay, but I'm going to assume that we're not going to have part A on the test, so I'm going to build it from scratch. So I'm going to do it slightly different. So I can read it, but f of g of 4. But when I see this problem in this format, it doesn't really help me. So we're going to write it, okay, without this symbol, okay. Read the same way, written slightly different. So we have f of, we'll use an open parentheses, f of this next function, more parentheses, so more ofs, f of g of this guy, okay, 4. And let's close the parentheses. So the question is, what should I look at first? Should I look at this outside function or should I look at the inside function? Kind of think about if that's the question, kind of think about like if it was like order of operation, you know, we're like grouping symbols. Oh, what do we do with the grouping symbols? We look at the inside. Okay, so in this case, when we have function composition, work from the inside out. Okay, so we're gonna focus on finding g of 4, and then whatever that is, find f of that. Okay, so let's go ahead, find g of 4, whatever that is. So I need a break, so let me go ahead, write down what function g is. Function g is where am I? G of x is equal to x plus 5, and we want to know what g of 4 is. Okay, g of 4, with confidence, we are gonna substitute a 4 for the input of x. So let's go ahead, handle it. So we have x, which we're substituting with 4, will give us 5. Okay, sum of 4 and 5 is 9. If this is what if this was the answer, I would box it and move on. But because I need this piece of the puzzle to answer the question, I want to tell myself what equals 9. It's like, oh, g of 4 equals 9. Okay, I need another break. Okay, so we want to find f of g of 4. Let me go ahead, write down what we have. Okay, so we want to find f of g of 4. Thanks to our hard work, we know that g of 4 equals 9. Okay, so g of 4 equals 9. And after all that hard work, we have that f of g of 4. What that boils down to is find f of 9. Okay, so let me go ahead and do another break. Oh, why so many breaks? Because I need it. My brain needs it. Okay, so let's go ahead, spit out what function f is. Function f, where am I? Function f is 3x plus 2. And then we want to find f of 9. So So how are we going to handle it? We are going to substitute a 9 for the input of x. So let me circle them. Why do I circle the x's? Because I'm a visual person, so I feel like if I highlight it, I'm like, oh yeah, plug it in here. Okay, so we have f of 9. We're going to substitute a 9 for the input of x, so that will give us 3 times x, which is 9, plus 2. Do what you gotta do. Product of 3 and 9 is 27, and the sum of 27 and 2 is 29. So the moral of this story, after all this hard work, we have that f of g of 4 evaluates to 29. Oh, my cable. Yeah, it made an appearance. Cool. So I said we were going to do 2 sets of problems. This is the first set. Let's go ahead and do another set. Highlighter. This is why my highlighter wasn't working anymore. Okay, I'll try to clean my desk like next week. Alright, so fun problem number 2, same set of directions. Okay, let me move this so you can see my cleaner desk. Okay, so let's do this. So we had let f of x equals x squared plus 4, g of x equals 2x plus 3, and h of x equals x minus 5. Okay, so we're going to do 2 problems and we're out. Problem A. Problem A, I want you to find f of h of 9. Okay, that's a 9. Pretend you can read that. Okay, so let's go ahead, write this over what we have, because I kind of like to keep the original problem intact. Now if you expect me to jump on it at this point, I can't, because when I write it with the symbol, it's really hard for me to have a sense of where to start. So we're gonna rewrite it. Okay, so we have f of the inside of h of 9. Read the same way, written differently, but the second way just speaks wonders to me. So game plan: find the inside. Ink. I have to. My favorite pen. I have to find a new one. Okay, we'll put that in the bloopers. I'll wash my hands later. Okay, so oh, I can't live with myself. I don't want to put pause though, because I probably can't take it out. Where's my finger? Here it is. Okay, cool. This is why I have this finger. Okay, so we want to find f of h of 9. So what are we gonna do? We want to find the inside in order for us to find the outside thereafter. So we want to find h of 9, whatever that is, then we'll find f of that. So let's go ahead, find h of 9. My favorite pen. Oh my gosh, good thing I have another one just like it. Okay, so h of 9, I'm gonna write down what function h is first. So we have h of x, according to the problem, is x minus 5. And then what do we want to find? We want to find h of 9. Okay, what are we gonna do? We are gonna substitute a 9. It doesn't quite look like 9, sorry. We're gonna substitute a 9 for the input of x. So that will leave us with x, which is 9 minus 5, which is 9. And that will leave us with 9 minus 5. And then thanks to your hard work, we have that h of 9 gives us 4. Cool. So we wanted to find f of h of 9. Okay, so let me go ahead, have a break. F of h of 9. Thanks to our hard work, we have that h of 9 is 4. Okay, so let's go ahead, plug it in. H of 9 is 4. Okay, and after all that hard work, we have that f of h of 9. What that boils down to is find f of 4. Okay, we know how to find f of 4. Let me go ahead, first spit out function f. So I want to know f of x, where am I? F of x equals x squared plus 4. Okay, it comes from the problem. Okay, and then with confidence, let's go ahead, find f of 4. So we're going to evaluate this function at 4. Okay, so to do that, we're going to substitute a 4 for the input of x. Fantastic. So that will leave us with x, which we will swap out with 4, which we will swap with 4. Okay, that's like a tongue twister for me. All right, so we have x, which is 4. We square it and then add 4 to it. The square of 4 is 16, and the sum of 16 and 4 is 20. So the moral of this story, after all this hard work, we have that where am I? F of h of 9, that simplifies to 20. Fantastic. Okay, so we have one problem down, one more to go, and we're good. Okay, problem B. Where should I do it? Hopefully I can squeeze it right here. Okay, problem B. Let's go ahead, find g of f of negative 1/2. G of f of negative 1/2. Alright, so let's go ahead and do this. I don't know if my voice faded out. Okay. Let's write the problem. So we have g of f of negative 1/2. Okay, why does the symbol keep getting smaller? I don't know. It's a human error. Okay, let's go ahead, rewrite it. So we have g, symbol is read as of. So this is our composite function of this function. More parentheses, of negative 1/2. Now, am I having a moment because we have a fraction? Yeah, but you have a calculator, so do what you gotta do. Okay, so in order for us to find g of this, we have to know what this evaluates to. Okay, so we want to find f of negative 1/2. Do what you gotta do. So let me go ahead, write down what f is. So we have f of x equals, where am I? X squared plus 4. We take our time to find f of negative 1/2. So we have f of negative 1/2. Let's substitute a negative 1/2 for the input of x. Okay, so that will leave us with x, which is negative 1/2. We have to square it and then add 4 to it. You know what? If you want to use a calculator and give me a decimal, it's fine. Decimals are fine as long as you don't round. Okay, I don't have easy access to a calculator, so I'm going to freehand it. Square of negative 1/2, negative 1/2 to negative 1/2 is 1/4. And the sum of 4 and 1/4 is 4 and 1/4. Or if I do it as an improper fraction, that will give us 17/4. Do what you gotta do. So let me just write down where this came from. Okay, so we want to find g of f of negative 1/2. In order for us to find that, we need to find what f of negative 1/2 is. We did it. Okay, so let me have a break. Let's bring down our problem. So we want to find g of f of negative 1/2. But we know what f of negative 1/2 is. Okay, thanks to your hard work, f of negative 1/2 simplifies to 17/4. Oh, I'm crying because I see the end at the end of this video and the end of this section. Okay, so now let's go ahead and find g of 17/4, or the decimal equivalent, which is 4.25. Do what you gotta do. So let me go ahead, bust out function g first. So we have g of x equals, according to the problem, what was it again? 2x plus 3. So we have g of x equals 2x plus 3. And we want to find g of any equivalent form of 17/4. So 17/4, 4 and 1/4, 4.25. Whatever makes you happy is going to make me happy. Okay, so that will give us 2. Let's go ahead, substitute the input of x for 17/4. And then we add 3 to it. Do what you gotta do, punch it in free-handed. Let's do it. 2 and 4 have a common factor of 2. 2 goes into itself once and into 4 2 times. Do what you gotta do. That will give you 17/2 plus 3, and you evaluate this however you can. With your permission, let's go ahead and write those equivalent fractions. There's only one denominator, so guess what? The LCD is that one denominator that we see. When we write 3 as an equivalent fraction with denominator 2, we will tell the world that 3 is the same as 6/2 or 6/2. So when we add the resulting fractions, we add the numerators and write the sum over the common denominator. Sum of 17 and 6 will give us 23, and we write the sum over the common denominator. Cool. So original problem was find g of f of negative 1/2. We had like a couple of puzzle pieces, and after all that hard work, the answer is 23 halves or its equivalent. What is it? 22, 11 and a half or 11.5. Don't quote me on that. Okay, guys, that's my time. Thank you.